course, the Tribe didn't win the World Series, but they did win an amazing amount of fan support.
And a former Browns player hits the streets to push the syntax.
And why the Stars jumped at the chance to do A Streetcar Named Desire. Details now on 19 News.
From Cleveland Television News, this is 19 News at 11.
Next year. We'll do it next year. Don't give up.
Nobody's given up. Of course, that was heard all around Cleveland today. It's been an unforgettable year, and fans know things will probably be even better next year. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dave Barker.
And I'm Gretchen Carlson. The Tribe did not win the World Series. We all know that by now. But they won the hearts of millions of Clevelanders. Christy Carlson has more on the fans' feelings one day after.
The day after the season ended for the Cleveland Indians, it seemed some fans were still having a hard time letting it go. They were snapping pictures of Jacobs Field.
Well, it's just a Tribe pool over there. It's got the big Chief WOIO on the back.
And snapping up souvenirs at the team shop.
It's a shame that they didn't go all the way. However, they are my team, and no matter what, I still love them.
Here's a large. Okay.
That would be great.
Business was also brisk at Daffy Dan's, where they've been putting in long hours for weeks, printing new shirts for each new Tribe championship.
What's your feeling emotionally after all this?
I have mixed emotions. I mean, you know, I'd be crazy if I didn't say I was a little disappointed, but on the other hand, I mean, I'm excited for the fellas. I mean, it was a great year, what they did for Cleveland.
Fans were here until almost 2 in the morning last night buying these World Series commemorative T-shirts hot off the presses. But here's the shirt you won't be able to buy, the Cleveland Indians World Series Championship shirt.
But Daffy Dan says he's already planning the World Series T-shirts for next year, and fans are already counting on buying them.
Next year. It was a great season. It was a fantastic season, and I'm looking forward to next year.
Next year. We'll do it next year. Don't give up.
Christy Carlson, 19 News.
Here we go. Stand by.
And just making it to the World Series for the first time in 4 decades was a dream come true for thousands of Indians fans. Just take a look at the enthusiastic crowd Tribe got when they arrived home from Atlanta early this morning. Now, the Indians got a hero's welcome, one they deserve for being the best team in all of baseball.
I don't even want to talk about next year. I want to talk about this year. My team went to the World Series this year. I love the Indians. They're number one. I love them. That's all I got to say. They are my team. Yeah, the Tribe. I love them. Number one, baby.
Okay, well, we've seen this kind of enthusiasm all year for the Indians, of course, and Tribe fever is sure to continue well into 1996.
And judging from this morning's crowd at the airport, you can just imagine how many people will show up tomorrow downtown. It's Indians Appreciation Day.
Indians, we love you. Irregardless of what happened yesterday, you still are the best statistical team in baseball in 1995. And tomorrow we're going to give you a great party to show you how much Cleveland and Greater Cleveland really loves you.
And a parade kicks off at 11:30 on Euclid Avenue at East 22nd, and a rally in front of the Stouffer Tower City Hotel will follow at noon tomorrow. Members of the team and coaching staff will be there to celebrate the Indians' great season this year. Now, we attempted the impossible tonight to jam a season of highlights into just 2 minutes, and we did it. Get your VCRs ready and look back with the Indians a little bit later in this broadcast. And while we look back on a great season of baseball, football fans are looking ahead to next Tuesday.
That's right. That's when voters will decide if they'll extend the sin tax to help pay for stadium renovations, to help, of course, keep the Browns in town. And as Paul Cox reports, the push to pass the tax is kicking into overdrive.
It's 4th down, and the Pro Issue 5 committee is going for it.
We will have 3 new commercials airing all over commercial television in this coming week. We are circulating probably about 400,000 pieces of literature to various audiences in the greater Cleveland community.
Members of the Go Cleveland Committee were spreading the gospel of the sin tax extension all over town.
Issue 5 will keep the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland, Ohio, and that's very, very important.
But wait a minute, nobody's promising the Browns will stay. Does Hanford Dixon have some inside information?
Well, let me say this, I'm hoping that it will keep the Browns in Cleveland. Let's face it, I mean, we really need a new stadium.
I think it's going to happen. I've got a good feeling. I mean, the Indians have been very good for our community. The Browns are picking up again. I think the people recognize how important it is to have an NFL football team in their city.
Weingart was bending some sympathetic ears in the flats.
It's important for the economic gain of Cleveland, and you just have to remember that you're not building the stadium for Art Modell, you're building it for the city of Cleveland.
I think we'll vote for it, and everybody I've talked to appears to be voting for it.
Whether enough will remains to be seen, but it'll be hard to find your way around Cleveland between now and November 7th without seeing the all-out blitz that'll happen in the final days of the campaign. Paul Cox, 19 News, Cleveland.
And from ads on television to radio to newspapers, issue 5, as it's called, will be just about as visible as Chief Wahoo these days. So far, backers say the feedback has been positive, and they're optimistic issue 5 will, in fact, pass.
I'm voting for those 70-degree temperatures that we had here a couple weeks ago.
Hey, I'd vote for those, too.
And the Chief Wahoo, you know, we never did get to show it all weekend. She's got a little itty-bitty Chief Wahoo.
Well, they're not going to be able to see it now.
No, it just looks like you slammed your thumb with a hammer or something.
But I said my nail person, Suzanne, in Rocky River, she painted this by hand, and she deserves all the credit in the world for sitting there and being that patient.
She did a great job.
She did.
Oh, the weather.
Weather.
Yeah. Weather. Okay, we've got some good weather and some bad weather coming up. Temperatures are going to warm up a little bit towards the end of the week, and then a cool down. We'll show you the whole picture coming up.
All right, thanks, Julie. If we're feeling a little tribe withdrawal, we could get a little kick from the Browns today.
That's right. Browns start a rookie quarterback, and he does just a great job. We'll hear from Eric Zier making his first regular season start in the NFL, as well as Andre Rison, what he thought about Eric Zier making his first starts and how they did.
Okay.
Thanks,
all right.
Dave.
Thanks, Dave Bacon. They're telling me to show my fingernail here, but I don't know if we're going to get it out or not.
No, go ahead. Throw it.
See?
All right.
Here, one.
There you go. Just hold it on.
See, there he is.
There it
A little
is.
Wahoo.
And it's
Pretty cool.
actually so intricate. It's beautiful. See, that's how big it is.
Actually, that's Dave's thumb.
That's me. You're funny.
Well, on to much more serious news now. We all remember last week's devastating school bus train crash that killed 5 Illinois teenagers. And believe it or not, there was another collision there today, but this one was planned. We're going to tell you why right when we come back.
Plus, we'll soon have a whole new country to our north. Maybe. Details when we come back.
No results or conclusions will be drawn today as to what we're seeing and obtaining. They'll be taken back to Washington, and in 6 to 9 months, the NTSB will be issuing a final report and issuing safety recommendations.
And that's how long we're going to have to wait for answers surrounding a deadly school bus train collision that killed 7 and injured dozens. Now, this morning, sounds of warning bells and train whistles were heard as investigators recreated last week's tragic crash. An identical bus drove into the same intersection and waited until the actual train involved in the accident came barreling down the tracks. One of the investigators today says recreating the situation is very important.
It's the sight distance test, which also involves the whistle test, and then we're going to have the dynamic braking.
Now, video cameras recorded the test, which clearly showed that the intersection was just too short for the bus and the train couldn't stop in time. The eerie reenactment brought about 40 people to the scene today who also left letters, balloons, and stuffed animals on the site. Well, in Azerbaijan, close to 300 people are dead tonight after a subway train fire. It started last night when a passenger train was between 2 stations, trapping passengers underground with no escape. Now, investigators there aren't sure what exactly started that fire, but say it could have been something in the train's electrical system.
And Bosnian peace talks are slated to get underway Wednesday at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base right here in Dayton. In the meantime, negotiators struggle to keep the Croats and Serbs out of conflict. A milestone of sorts was reached today in the ceasefire. For the first time since the beginning of the war, Bosnian civilians boarded buses to travel through Serb-held territory. For most of the passengers, it was their first journey out of Sarajevo since fighting began in Bosnia. Meantime, in Quebec, they're rallying on the eve of a landmark vote of independence. Separatist leaders made their final appeals today to try and convince voters to say yes to making Quebec its own country. And unfortunately, we lost the tape on that, but it's going to be a very close vote. 46% want Quebec to be its own country. 41% want it to remain part of Canada.
That one's hard to imagine.
Yeah, being its own country, but it may happen.
Yeah, all because of a language. Well, it was the first uncensored film version ever shown, and it was seen right here on Channel 19. And when we come back, we're going to take you behind the scenes of A Streetcar Named Desire.
And a little later on, the rains are setting records, but the records, unfortunately, are taking lives. We'll be right back.
Take it easy.
All of you, please go home. If any one of you ever spark of decency in you. Watch out!
Stella, take it easy.
You lay your hands on me and my sister's gonna have a baby.
This is terrible.
No, it wasn't terrible. It was good. And you saw it here tonight on CBS, the first version of A Streetcar Named Desire put on film uncensored exactly as it was written.
But what you didn't see, the star's reaction to playing in such a classic performance. Michelle March takes us behind the scenes.
When it first surfaced on Broadway in 1947, it was Marlon Brando and Jessica Tandy. Now it's Alec Baldwin and Jessica Lange. The production is Tennessee Williams' A Streetcar Named Desire, and for the first time, the original play is being televised uncensored. The question is, what makes this such a classic?
The language is extraordinary, unparalleled.
The language, the words that he has people say.
He was really touched by the gods with this one, I think.
It didn't take much to convince Baldwin and Lange to reprise their Broadway roles as Stanley Kowalski and Blanche Dubois.
I don't think you can find a better written character in all of American literature. I mean, she's just so... She has so many facets and layers and textures.
I relate a lot to this character. I consider myself to be somebody who loves life and who likes to have a sense of humor, but is also pretty direct about what they like and don't like and what they're going to put up with and not put up with.
What does he do?
Also featured is Diane Lane as Stella and John Goodman as Mitch, who rushed at the chance to play opposite Jessica Lange.
I've worked with Jessica twice before, and this time around, it's, I had a little bit more to dance with, let's say. She'd just do stuff, and I'd be like off camera, you know, working with her, but I'd sit there, you know, I'd just throw me. I mean, she's just amazing. It's a brilliant performance.
She crushes it, man. She crushes it.
Set in New Orleans' French Quarter, the play examines life in America after World War II, focusing on Stanley and Stella Kowalski and how their lives change when Stella's long-lost sister Blanche visits for a few days. For Lange, the role is the creme de la creme.
By far my favorite of anything I've ever done. I mean, I have a place in my heart for Blanche that it's kind of inexplicable.
For CBS, this is Michelle Marsh reporting.
Well, you might think our rainy weather here in Cleveland might be gloomy and depressing, but in another part of the world, it's proving to be deadly. Details when 19 News comes back.
And a little bit later, a final salute to a year of unforgettable memories of the Jays. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us.
High tides continue to flood the town of Bangkok, but it didn't stop most folks from going about their daily business. Now, right now, the flooding levels seem to be under control, but thousands have already had to abandon their homes, and sadly, hundreds have been killed there in the capital city of Thailand. Pretty nasty weather out there. Things were much quieter here along the north coast, albeit a little bit of everything. We had some rain showers scattered around the area, some sunshine here and there, and also even a rainbow. It was kind of pretty out if you had a chance to see that. 51 was the high, 44 was the morning low, so far temperatures are falling back below that even as we speak. Normal 57 and 40, 78 degrees for the record high in 1946, 24 in 1980. The sunrise tomorrow morning at 6:56, and sun will set at 5:26. Currently, our temperature outside is 44 degrees, and things are falling back below that in some areas with a dew point of 35. We can go quite a bit lower than 44, 70% humidity. Barometer's finally on the rise at 30.20 inches, and winds are coming in out of the west at about 7 miles per hour. Taking a look at the regional picture, you can see that we had some rain showers, again lingering in the northeastern corner of the state up in Ashtabula County, still picking up a couple of spotty showers here and there. The rest of us are dry, but more showers are headed our way once again. You can see them coming back through the state of Indiana. It looks like they are going to hold off, however, for the parade tomorrow, and the showers should come back in a little bit in the afternoon. On Earthwatch 3D, you can see these showers here back behind us. This is the current picture in sort of a stationary front extending all the way from the coast back to almost into Illinois. Low pressure to our north with a little bit of a trough, and then high pressure to our south. As this continues to go through the day tomorrow, looks like this rain's just going to spread out and spread over the region. A little bit of a trough develops in that front, but other than that, we're really not looking for too much of a change because, as you can see, lots of cloud cover extending all the way back to the coast. Now we'll go ahead and take a look, start on the west coast and work our way towards the east coast. And this is going to start us off in California. You see some light cloud covers. This is the one end of that front. As we move towards the state of Ohio, you see a big band of cloud cover. And with the zonal type flow that we have right now, that's what we're looking for coming into the state of Ohio as we head into the day tomorrow and really all the way through the week. Going back now to Hal and see what's going on. We have temperatures at 40 degrees here in Cleveland for the wind chill. Kind of chilly out there, and tonight, varied cloudiness. Looking for some scattered showers, especially up towards Ashtabula. The rest of us should stay dry, though, and maybe even see a few stars. Then the clouds are going to move back in late tonight and early tomorrow morning. We'll see about 40 degrees. Tomorrow afternoon, bundle up for the parade, but I think it's going to stay dry by 11:30 in the morning. We'll just see some cloud cover. Showers coming in a little bit later, a high right around 50 degrees. That sounds kind of chilly, doesn't it? And then tomorrow night, occasional rain showers and 40 degrees. But here's some good news. Got some improvement coming in to the 5-day forecast. Take a look at it. Here we go after tomorrow with a high of 50 degrees. A little bit of improvement for Halloween. We'll see 51 degrees, 41 for a low that night. So I'm figuring probably upper 40s about trick-or-treat time. You may want to waterproof that costume. Temperatures go into the 60s by midweek. Start to cool down again for the weekend. So far, next weekend's looking a little rocky, but we'll keep you posted on that as we go through the course of the week.
Things always change in the weather department.
They sure
anyway.
do, every minute.
This time of year.
All
Thanks,
right.
Julie.
Thanks,
Okay.
Julie.
Well, after 3 straight losses, the Browns finally had a plan to get back on track.
But did Bill Belichick's bold move work? Find out next, coming up in sports.
Tonight's sports report on 19 News is sponsored by Revco, a friend for life.
A 3-game losing streak, an offense that was moving the ball but not scoring touchdowns, and a team that saw its season slipping away. It all added up to Bill Belichick deciding it was time for rookie Eric Zeier to start his first regular season game today against the Bengals. And Zeier played pretty well, but the offense still wasn't scoring touchdowns in the first half. With 16-12 Bengals in the fourth quarter, Zeier throws an absolute BB between 2 defenders. Andre Rison makes a nice catch. The Browns took the lead. After a fumbled punt, the Browns were back at it again. Ernest Biner gets nothing at first, then finds a lane 4 yards for a touchdown, 26-16. A field goal made it 26-19 Browns. Bengals try the onside kick, and Leonard Wheeler catches it easily. Bengals ball. A couple of pass interference penalties put the ball at the 1. And David Klingler hits Carl Pickens for a touchdown. It goes to overtime, but in overtime, fear not. Matt Stover drills a 28-yard field goal. The Browns win it by 3 in overtime.
It's been 3 tough weeks, losing those 3 in a row, but, coming back and hanging in there, winning a division game on the road. It's tough to do in this league, and, we're glad to come out of here with a win.
The only really bad news during the Browns game was that safety Eric Turner was injured. He fractured 2 vertebrae. He remains in a Cincinnati hospital tonight. No further word on his injury. Eric Zeier definitely gave the offense the spark that Bill Belichick had hoped he would. Zeier threw for over 300 yards and a touchdown. But the Browns bigwigs are really happy to see that Zeier's favorite target was Andre Rison. He had by far his best day as a Brown, the type of day the Browns thought he would have when they signed him as a free agent. Rison had 7 catches for 173 yards and a touchdown, and whenever Zeier needed a big play, he was looking Rison's way.
He reminds me sometimes of like a John Elway. He rolls out the pocket. He has an arm strong enough to throw, anywhere on the field. And that's what I call a football player, and the kid's going to be good. He keeps his head right and keep improving. I'm improving with him.
And we didn't do a good job in the red area again today. We're lucky enough to come out with a win, and our defense made some plays, but it's going to come. It's something we're too good. We're too good up front. We're too good at running back to not to score when we get down there, and that's going to happen. We're going to start scoring, and it's just a matter of time.
Eric Zeier and Andre Rison were 2 of the big players in the game, but the sports department was a divided family over our play of the game for this week. After some shouting, the winner was this interception by Dana Hall. It's tipped by linebacker Carl Banks. Jeff Blake was going for Jeff Hill. Dana Hall comes up with the interception. Of course, we know that set up the big drive that led to the overtime field goal, the winning field goal, actually, by Matt Stover, a 28-yarder to win it in overtime. Bill Cowher was trying to make sure his Steelers were pumped up and ready for the expansion guys this time. They were playing Jacksonville. Handoff goes to Eric Pegram. He breaks one. How about two? Let's make it 3 tackles. 7-0 Steelers with the lead. Neil O'Donnell wants more. He finds Yancey Thigpen all alone. Thigpen lowers his head and finds the end zone. Steelers get some revenge. They beat Jacksonville 24-7. They're tied with the Browns at 4-4 atop the AFC Central. Jeff Fisher and the Oilers will be at the stadium next Sunday. Oilers had a 9-7 lead late third quarter. Handoff goes to Marion Butts, gets hit at the 2, but carries a Tampa Bay Buccaneer into the end zone. Oilers improved to 3-5 with a 19-7 win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Don't forget, Jeff Phelps coming up in just a few minutes. He will be out at the Browns facility with Browns Sunday Night, a complete wrap of today's Browns win, player interviews with co-host Hanford Dixon, and highlights and the scores from every NFL game. We apologize, we cannot bring you our scoreboard, having some trouble with our scoreboard tonight. Well, wait until next year has never been quite so appealing to Indians fans as it is right now. Sure, everyone's a little disappointed about the Game 6 loss, but it doesn't take away from the year this team had. The reality of the Indians' magic season being over hit home this afternoon. Players were packing up everything in their lockers over at Jacobs Field and heading home for the off-season. This is a year most will never forget.
It was unbelievable. I've never seen somebody or some town turning, you know, to love baseball or to love a team the way these guys did.
This team, the guys on this team, and the fun that we had this year, and it was just a thrill to be, you know, in Cleveland, and just the way the city reacted to what we did this year.
And good news for baseball fans going through withdrawal. Spring training starts in just 3.5 months in Winter Haven, Florida.
Oh, that's amazing.
And the Cavs won their final preseason game, beat the Toronto Raptors. Our sister station, Channel 43, will have the season opener Friday at 7:30 against the Orlando Magic.
Okay.
And a final note, Lumberjacks beat Minnesota 4-2 in the IHL.
God, all good news from you.
That's right.
All right, sounds good, Dave. Thanks.
All right, thank you. And another quick look at our weather picture.
Well, especially if you're heading down for the big parade tomorrow, things are going to be on the cool side, but hopefully it will stay dry. If you're planning to stay downtown after the parade, however, you may want to bundle up and bring an umbrella or two because shower is going to be on the way in the late afternoon.
Definitely going to want to show up a little early, probably get down there around 10 o'clock tomorrow. All right, Julie, thanks. Well, Dave was just talking about the withdrawals, and the withdrawals have begun with the Indians. Of course, they're gone for a few months, but what a season we have to remember.
And we thought you might want to take a look back, so we created a video thank you from all the fans for all those days that we will always remember.